Hello and welcome to Yaoguai Gaming, where today I am walking you through how to build my Gacha crystal farm. Hopefully this should be easy to follow and hopefully it should get you an absolute ton of crystals. To build this Gacha tower, the very first thing you're going to want to do is create a circle of triangle foundations like so. And then from each of these triangle foundations, we're going to go out with a standard foundation, and then we're going to fill in these gaps like this. Then we will pick up the center foundations. You can either pick these up, or if you just use thatch or something, you can just destroy them, it doesn't really matter. Until we're left with this, a circle type structure with a hexagon in the middle. Next, we're going to go out from each of these regular foundations. We're going to go out with pillars, and we're going to go out 17 pillars. So 1, 16, and 17, like so. And then next, you have to do that coming out from each of the regular foundations. When you finish that, it should look something like this. Now the last thing we need to do down on this area is at the end of each of these lines of pillars, we need to put just some sort of pillars coming off the side that will support our platforms. So one there and one there. And I like to make them the same height so it's all nice and uniform. So just count 2 in and then put your pillars coming off the side. The next bit that we're going to build is the collection area. So, build this. Start by putting a wall on each of the triangle foundations. Then we get our staircases, and we put staircases like so. Obviously, if you don't have the ability to put items inside one of them turned on, you're not going to be able to do that bit. But you will be able to do most of the rest, so it's not going to cause that much trouble, but it works better if you do have that setting turned on. So, and then just stairs in a full circle around like this. So this is where your crystals are going to end up. This is where you're going to stand, wait for them. And then the way you're going to get in is you can put stairs out of each of these. You only really need one, but just for the sake of doing this in a nice symmetrical uniform pattern, we're going to put one on each one. So once you've got that, it will look something like this. And then if you want, you can turn it into ramps, which I much prefer when we're looking at metal. And this is what it looks like when it's made out of ramps. I think it looks a lot nicer, a lot sleeker, but obviously that's just personal preference. Okay, so from here, we're going to actually start building the sort of runs where the gachas are going to come. As you can see, I've been experimenting with this already, so we'll build here so they're not in the way of the floating gachas. And the way we're going to start this is we're going to get 16 stairs. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay. From here, we're going to build the sort of, I don't know what to call it, the place where I sit the actual gachas. I'm not sure if there's like a name for it. I don't know if it's their hut or their prison. I don't know. Their battery farm. Anyway, so the way you do that is from 2 stairs down, you build 2 ceilings out, encase it in a box. Then you get your ceilings, and you come out with 4 ceilings like that, and then 2 on this side, so towards the center. So you get a 2x3 rectangle on either side. You get your walls, and go around with the walls. Okay, so once you've got 2 high walls circling the thing, you get your stairs, and you put your stairs into position like this. Now these stairs are where the actual gacha is going to sit, 1 on each staircase. So a male on one side, a female on the other side. Okay, then go go up by one more wall. And then we're going to build the feeding sort of platform where if you have, for example, an RG or a gas bags or something, you can land and give them a ton of food. So that's this platform here. You can land on this bit. And then I like to put an extra wall on the sides just so that the crystals can't go shooting out off the side, before finally putting some railings around the whole thing. Oh no! Don't rush or you'll waste resources. There we go. So that is what the pod looks like when it's structurally done. Then the crystals are going to roll down this channel here. So obviously we need to keep them in the channel. So to do that, initially you go 2 walls down here. And then you get your railings and you just build a double tall railing all the way down here. Which will keep them from falling out in like 99% of the time. In all my testing, I don't think any actually fell out of this system when it was fully built and complete. So you should be fine. There we go. So that's it, completely done and ready to go. Any changes you want to make from here, for example, changing the stairs into ramps, are purely cosmetic. It is structurally complete now. I realise there's a very obvious difference between building something with light turned on, ghost mode turned on, and building something in your regular world if you're trying to not use any commands or you're physically unable to use commands. So let's build it. Let's build one more of these without any of those commands turned on so that you can see how it could be done without that if you don't have access to that. So first things first is we go up with our stairs again. And we don't actually have to count because it says there how many stairs have been removed. So there's 16 stairs. Okay. Then, take off the top stair. I've found that taking off the top stair makes it easier to place these ceiling bits. If you leave the top stair, I'm not sure if you can place it. I'm sure with enough wiggling maybe you could, but I always seem to have trouble with it. Okay, so there's that bit of structure. You can put your stair back in place. This stair is going to get taken out a lot when you're doing it like this, so maybe if you want to have some wooden stairs in case you need to, or in case you end up scrapping them because you don't have unlimited pickup time or something, that might be something that you want to use. Okay, then we go for our walls around the outside, and I've done the same thing again because I'm nothing if not consistent in my failures. It's the one thing I'm consistent with. Yay! Oh. Okay. So remember, this one is a double high wall, and then you can go from here with your stairs. Like so. Be very careful not to fall down. It is quite high. You will probably die. There is my poem of the day. And then finally that. Now this should then let you get up fairly easily. But you need to put one more wall around. It should be quite easy to move around the area now, a bit safer. One more wall around, and then what you're going to need to do is put a temporary stair here to build the feeding platform on. And this stair can then be removed. If you do that quickly, you should be able to pick it up no matter what your settings are. But again, you might prefer to use a wood or stone staircase in those situations. And then you add your wall there, and then your railings. So as you can see, it's very simple to build, even without the ability to fly. You should have absolutely no trouble putting this thing together. And last but not least, we won't do all of the railings because you know what railings look like. I don't need to show you that. We'll just do this bit here, and there you go. That's this finished. All you need to do now is run down with your railings. Easy. This is what it looks like when it's finished, when it's filled with gachas and when all the stairs have been turned into ramps. I've just chucked a little bit of food down for the gachas, and as you can see, our crystals are already starting to roll down the chutes into our collection bowl hopper silo. I don't know, whatever term you want to use for this little collection area. And it looks like we've even got some nice ones. Some nice apprentice crystals. That's cool. So, that's the first layer. But what if you want to add a second layer? Or a third layer? Or a fourth layer? Well, I'll show you how to add the second layer, and if you want to add more, it's just exactly the same again on top and on top and on top. So once you know how to add the second layer, you know how to add as many layers as you want. So, 12 gachas aren't quite enough for you. You want more. So I'm going to show you how to get more. First things first, we take away this piece of railing here. It's not needed. And then we go up by 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then we do our 16 stairs. There we go, there's our stairs. And then this is basically exactly the same as what we've got down here, only it's connected at this end instead of this end. So, building it is exactly the same as it was before, but we'll run through it one more time just so that we're all 100% sure of what we're doing. We're putting our 2 ceilings in place. We're putting our wall in place there. Our wall in place here. Our 2x3 ceiling here. Our 2x3 ceiling here. And then our double high walls around the outside. Like so. I always manage to screw this one up there. I always manage to screw a wall up there. Then our staircase. Honestly, the quicker you try and go, the more mistakes you just make. Like that. And then, if you remember, one wall around the outside. Then our feeding area. Then our walls on the sides to shield the crystals from falling out. And finally, our railing. And once you've done that, you can then obviously move down onto sorting the railings out for this, but I wouldn't do that until we built the system at the end, personally. So, there's one. Let's get the rest built, and then we can have a look at how the middle is going to look where all of these chutes, all these channels come together. Okay, so once you've got the chutes done for this second tier, what you're going to want to do is get your ceilings and put a ceiling behind each one of the bottom stairs. Like so. Then you want to get your triangle ceilings, that's a foundation, and fill in the gaps with triangle ceilings. It doesn't matter if they're not perfectly aligned, but we'll try and figure out why they're not perfectly aligned. Let's get them perfectly aligned. Let's get it so it's all nice. There we go. Okay, there we go. And there's one more that's not quite aligned, isn't it? You. Why are you not aligned? You should be. I think it would be easier to do this if you just... because they don't all connect. It's fine. There we go. Okay, never mind. I think it would be easier to do this if you started at one point and just went around. But anyway, once you've got this sort of basically done, let's actually just change this. There we go. Once you've got this done, what you want to do is get your walls, and the same as what we did earlier, you're going to put walls in these positions here. There we go. Then get your stairs to come down from here, like so. Change all of these to ramps so that it fits in nicely with the aesthetic of it all. like so. And then add some railings onto the top, just so that nothing can bounce out. Right, so this is the top of your chute done. This is where everything is going to end up. And what you're going to want to do now is bring everything down. And the way we're going to do that is with a big, long tunnel of walls, which will take a fairly long time and a fairly large amount of walls to build. But it doesn't have to reach all the way down. Okay? So bring that down until it's almost touching, maybe 2 or 3 walls gap between it and the floor. Well, there we go. It is completely finished. The chute is completely built. It is completely full of gachas who've been fed. I've left it running for a couple of minutes and I can literally go swimming in this pool of gacha crystals. So I think we can definitely call this a success. I think this does a really good job of collecting an absolute boatload of gacha crystals. Let's pick them all up. How many do you think we're going to get? More than 100. I physically can't pick them up anymore. That's how many there are. 2 more to pick up. So, this has been my first ever guide video for anything in Ark. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I'm still fairly new to the game, so I hope this doesn't come off as too pretentious or anything. I just spent a long time designing this and building this, and I'm really happy with how it came out, so I just wanted to share it with you and share how to build it with you. So thank you very, very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.